You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, everyone knows pretty much what's going on in the news today, and nothing's really changed. You know, the persecution of Trump and you know, the whole China and the WEF. Global elitists, leftist elitists trying to destroy America, you know, especially with these wars and crap that's going on. So nothing new, everything, same old, same old. Let's get on to what I really want to talk to you about this week. Now, I've been doing a horror marathon for this month because it's, you know, that time of the year again. You know, Halloween has just got a few more days, so this will be the last one of the horror week or horror month marathon, because by the time I post again the following week, it'll be in September. So I really didn't want to watch this movie because I just already knew it was a bad movie. I didn't really want to watch it, but I thought, well, screw it. If I'm going to do this entire franchise, I might as well do the last one that was done too, the remake of A New Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 remake version. Now, it starred Jackie Haley as the as Freddy Krueger. I like Jackie Haley as an actor. He's a decent actor. However, it's not his fault this movie was crap. He basically was given a bad script, and he did not fit the part. He's not a Freddy Krueger. I'm sorry. You know, like I said, I like Jackie as an actor, but it just wasn't, the part wasn't for him. I already said it was done in 2010. Also stars a woman named Rooney Mara, who I've never even heard of before. The box office number was 115 million worldwide. So, you know, it wasn't great, but it did, you know, probably broke about even, I think. I don't know. The numbers are constantly changing. They get higher and higher for a movie has to make a shit ton of money anymore to break even. So, I think 115 million is okay. It's decent. Anyways, this is a reimagining of the supposed original story. Now, the problem is, of course, they changed several things. And the reason why the movie didn't do so well, other than the fact you have a bunch of no-names, except for Jackie and Brown's in this too, but he has a small part. I don't know, it just fell flat. It really did. There were a lot of tropes throughout this movie that was basically in the previous movies, like the whole scene where uh, Tina is dragged in a body bag. They redid that, kind of redid that scene, but it was this Chris girl. Now, Chris is a character from the third movie, Dream Warriors, played by Patricia Arquette. But they went and made this other chick, Chris, and they focused, like half the movie is focused on her, you know, before she dies. And then they redid the whole Tina and her boyfriend scene from the original movie, where she dies up on the ceiling or whatever, and the boyfriend's accused of it, and yada yada, and he dies in jail and all that shit. They kind of redid everything with that, with this Chris character and her boyfriend in this one. And they reenacted that whole thing. They just did the killing a little different. Also, in this version, Freddy is not, you know, this town, you know, child killer or whatever. He is a maintenance guy at a preschool where all the kids went to. And he would take them down in the basement and, you know, molest them and shit. So it was a little bit different. Plus, you know, they go to the basement in this one, and they end up fighting them there at the end. But in all the other movies, you know, he was taking the kids to his place of work, a factory and a boiler room, which makes more sense because it's a place that people won't know about or probably could find or anything like that. So that makes more sense. This one here, you know, he's in the basement of a preschool. I mean, that's a little, it's just too easy. You know what I'm saying? The story didn't make a whole lot of sense that they changed all that from the boiler room to the preschool. It just didn't make any sense. I get what they were trying to go with, but it just, you know, he would have been caught way sooner. Oh, well, in this one, he's not caught by the police, whereas in previous movies he is. And then he gets off on a technicality. So the parents find him at his workplace and then burn him up in one of the boiler rooms. In this one, the parents don't go to the police. They go and find him and then chase him into, it looked like the factory, to be honest, but supposedly it's part of the preschool. It didn't make no sense to me. And then they burn him up in there. So I didn't get it. That didn't make no sense to me. But whatever. They don't explain how he comes back into their dreams in this version. They try to explain some called micro sleeps or micro naps. You know, they stay up too long. They start blending the dream world with reality, and that's how he's able to get them, because he makes them weak by breaking down their dream state, insomnia, and tries to put them in a coma, the kind of shit, which again is just, I don't know, it's just kind of dumb. But like I said, there's tons of tropes, references to past Freddy lines. You know, for example, you know, the whole deal where he tells Nancy, he'll see her in her dreams and that kind of shit. Just some of the lines were just rehashed. And the main guy, the Quentin guy or whatever, that dude, I've seen him before. He always look in his face. I don't care what movie it is he's in. He always looks like he's got to take a shit the entire time. He's like this all the time. All the fucking time. Every movie he's done. So it's terrible. The young people they use for this movie is just terrible. I think the writer or director or whatever had a crush on the blonde who played Chris, because like I said, half the movie's about her. She's not even a main character in the original movies. Like, I mean, she did one, she played the main part in Dream Warriors 3, but that was it. And she had 10 minutes at the beginning of part 4. That was it. She wasn't the main character. Nancy's the main character. Now, eventually, they get to Nancy in this one, and she becomes the main character. But for the most part, like I said, half the movie is about the Chris character, which made no sense. And she's supposed to be Tina, not Chris. So, again, it didn't make no sense. And I think that's a lot of the problem why this movie fell. Yeah, the writer and director tries to blame the fans of the previous movies. It's all the fans' fault, blah, blah, blah. They don't know what's good and blah, blah, blah. No, it's shitty writing. You literally took a bunch of crap from the original movies and then meshed it all together and tried to make a new story out of it, which wasn't really a new story. You screwed it up. Wes did the same thing, which I'll get to here in a minute, later in the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. Wes screwed it up too. So, but it was just a poor movie. It was poorly written. It was done terrible. You had, a bunch of tropes from the previous movies that they tried to change. They changed the background story of Freddy. And like I said, Jackie didn't fit the part. He just wasn't a Freddy Krueger. Freddy's tall. I think Robert Englund's like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. He's a tall dude. Jackie is short. Jackie's like, what, 5'9"? So, again, you miscast the main character. And he didn't have his one-line zingers. That's what makes Freddy. That's what made him popular. They went way too dark with this one. I mean, they really tried to make it more, I don't know. They just went way dark on this one. And it just didn't work for them. Okay. Enough of that. It was a crap movie. I just got done watching it just a few minutes ago, so I could do this. I just, 2 thumbs down. I do not recommend the 2010 version, the remake. It's very rare I like a remake or a reboot. Very, very rare. There's just a few that I like. Most overall, all the remakes and reboots. People are tired of it because they remake it with terrible writers, or they try to throw in a bunch of politics, and it screws up the story. It's like, don't touch it if you can't do a good story. Just don't mess with it. Don't fuck with it. Just because you slap that title on there, you're trying to make money off of it because you know people know the fucking name of a popular movie. It's bullshit. These writers today are just fucking lazy as fuck. There's no creativity. Anyways, let's get on to your B movie reviews. Alright, movie-holics, on to your B-movie reviews. This is the last of the horror month, horror week. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Last two of this franchise. And I talked about the remake earlier in the video. So this week we're doing the Nightmare series this year, and we are reviewing the last two, which is 7 and 8. The first one is New Nightmare. Now, it was done in 1994, and it only made about 20 million. Of course, you're bringing back all the original cast, Heather Langenkamp, and Robert Englund as Freddy. You even have John Saxon in it, and a couple others. Wes even does a couple of parts in this, a little bit of acting in this. Now, in the previous movies, they would tag Wes's name on it because, he's the creator of Freddy. But he wasn't really writing or directing any of them. In this one, which is the 7th one, he comes back to write and direct. I think he got pissed off with the last one, the chick who did Freddy's Dead. I think he got pissed off because she fucked it all up. She wouldn't use a lot of the stuff he told her to use. She refused to use the whole rhyme, the girls, chanting 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. She wouldn't use that. That kind of stuff. And then she made it really cartoony-ish, and it was just silly. So I think he got pissed. He's all like, "No, you can't kill him off, blah, blah, blah." So he went ahead and did this movie. Now, he made this one where it was more like, how do I put this? Everyone played themselves for the most part. And then it was like he was intrigating the characters like they were playing themselves. Heather played Heather instead of Nancy, but towards the end she kind of became Nancy. Same thing with Freddy, blah blah blah. And he changed the backstory again of Freddy. Instead of him being a child killer, this time he went and made him a bona fide demon, an actual demon that's been around, an ancient demon that's been around since human first evolved. Since the beginning of time. Da da da. So he made him an ancient demon who's trying to come back and possess Robert Englund, and wants to be remembered and live again. That kind of shit. I don't know. It was silly. It was a dumb backstory. And I like Wes Craven's work, but this one was just it was terrible. He shouldn't have tried to change the backstory and do it that way. And honestly, her husband, the one who played her husband, and the kid, they were so terrible actors. They were really bad. Like, I didn't mind the babysitter chick. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she did okay. And that where she dies is the only good scene in the whole freaking movie. The rest of it's just terrible. It's just terrible. And it's not the first time I've seen the whole, I'm writing a story and it's playing out in real life BS, So it was pretty downgrading for Wes. I was just shocked when I first saw this movie. It's the worst of the series. Honestly, you would do just fine if you didn't watch this movie. Honestly. And just watch the rest of them. This one was really, really bad. I didn't like it at all. 2 thumbs down. I do not recommend this movie. Towards the end, he finishes the script, and everybody's supposed to be like, oh, okay, he finished the script, the demon's back where he belongs, he got what he wanted, blah, 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 Who cares that, Wes was writing people's deaths and they died, it's like I said, it was pretty bad. Alright, let's move on. And this is the 8th one, and this will be the last one of the franchise, except for the remake, which I talked about earlier. And this one is called Freddy vs. Jason. This is the 8th one in the series. And it was done in 2003, and it made about 116 million. So it did okay. It didn't do too bad. This one starred Monica Keena as the female lead. She's the pretty blonde, of course, blah blah blah. And of course you got Robert Englund as Freddy, and I can't remember the guy's name. It's not the same guy who played Jason in the movies. The Jason series franchise, or Friday 13th franchise. Sorry, some other dude, but he did okay. He didn't do bad as Jason. I mean, he didn't have any speaking parts, so he's a mute. But anyways, the story is Freddy. He's trapped in hell, and he hasn't had any new fresh kills, no new souls, because the townsfolk had somehow figured a way to erase him from the memories of everybody, including the teenagers. And then, you know, a few of them that were dreaming of him, they started giving him that drug from previous movies called Hypnosil, which was introduced in the third movie, Dream Warriors, to keep the kids from, or teenagers from dreaming of him. They don't have dreams. They sleep, but they don't have dreams. That's what the drug does. It suppresses the dreams. Anyways, the story is, you know, Freddy uses Jason and brings him back, forces him to come back to life, to go and start killing kids in Springwood, or people in general. That way, you know, some of them will start remembering Freddy. They'll think Freddy did it, and they'll start remembering about Freddy. And then if they remember who he is, he can come back and start killing again. It kind of works, but at the same time, Jason just keeps on killing. And Freddy's all like, now wait the fuck a minute, you know, you were just supposed to go kill a few people and then go back to Crystal Lake. But no, you keep killing him. So he steps in, he tries to stop Jason. Of course, they have a big fight towards the end. And it doesn't go well for either one of them. At first, nobody knows what's going on, but they eventually figure out, you know, who Freddy is. And then one of the cops, a new officer that just shows up to town, I think he said he's new, he had only been there like a month. They're talking Freddy, and he's all like, I did some research, and I think this guy in the hockey mask is Jason Voorhees, you know, and he did some digging into the Crystal Lake murders, blah, blah, blah. He gets with the kids that are having the dreams about Freddy, and then, you know, they figure out that it's not just Freddy, there's this Jason guy too, so they figure out a way to pit them against each other and then kill them off. And that's pretty much what happens, you know. You know, they figure out how to get them to fight, and then Freddy and Jason end up fighting and killing each other off. And then at the very end, you see that, you know, they're in hell together. You know, that's the end of the movie. Now, I remember when this movie came out, I was excited to see it for the same reason mostly everybody else was. You have two major horror icons going at it. Everybody thought, oh, they're going to do some more stuff, you know. They're going to bring in Michael. They're going to bring in Leatherface eventually, you know, that kind of shit. Nope, didn't happen. None of that happened. Even though everybody was hoping it would. This one was really good, even though you had some shitty actors. You know, the kids, the teenagers, blah, blah, blah. They were all terrible. Everybody else was fine. But the main cast, oh my gosh. The ones that played the kids. Except for the one. The one who, you know, clued everybody in on everything at the beginning. The blonde, redhead, blonde-headed dude. That had the brother that died of, you know, he deleted himself. He was the only one that I recognized who was really decent. The rest of the, you know, the black chick, the two girls, you know, that dude's, you know, the boyfriend, whatever, you know, and the other boy, they were all terrible actors. So you had some really poor acting in it. But the story and everything was alright. I liked it. Even though it was cheesy as fuck. You know, it was cool. It was cool to see Robert Englund play Freddy again. One last time. I don't think they'll have another one. I don't think they'll make another one with Robert Englund. I mean, he's just too old anymore. Even though I love Robert Englund, he's a great actor. I wish they would do another one, but they need to find someone who actually can play the part right. Again, nothing against fucking Jackie Haley, but he did not fit the part in the remake. And they had some terrible actors in that movie. But anyways, and they shouldn't have changed the entire backstory. That was just dumb. Anyways, like I said, this one, Freddy vs. Jason, 2 thumbs up. Definitely check it out. They ended it off on a good cliffhanger. I hope they do more eventually, but with the right cast and a good story. That's all I have for you for the marathon. We're done with the Nightmare on Elm Street series franchise. Overall, I love this franchise as far as horror goes, and I'm not a big horror fan. I mean, I like horror. It's dark fantasy, you know. But most of the horror, I'd say after 2008, maybe, it just went to shit. Hollywood sucks anymore. They can't write worth the shit. And it's just not horror, but most of the horror genre is just gone to piss. And it really irritates me because they used to have some really good horror flicks. And now it's just garbage. But anyways, that's the end, kiddos. The next video I do, you know, will be in the month of September, so we'll start in on a different one. I think we'll be on action next time. So anyways, if you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions of B-rated movies or movies you think I've never even heard of or seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. Any genre except for drama or westerns. But anything else, we're good. Leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. And that's the end of the horror marathon. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week and we'll do some action. So that's all I have for you. Till next time, I told you be told the truth, and you just been told.